Good morning, brother. How you doing? My guy, Lunatic Raider, Raider Legion. What is good?
We on? Oh, hey!
We on. None other than Mr. Chris, bringing none other than our guy, Joe Moore, bring out none other than the Violator, Wayne Marbury, bring out none other than the notorious Mitchell Grants. Yo,
What's going on, man?
What is good, everyone? Appreciate everyone tapping in and rocking with us on this Saturday morning. Welcome to another episode of Good Morning Raiders. We are your hosts. I'm Jay Raider. This is the Raider Rundown. We're here to go ahead and bring another fire show to y'all. Salute to everyone in the building and everyone else pulling up. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button on both channels. Y'all already know what time it is. Salute to everyone. But we got a really good show lined up for you guys today. So let's go ahead and bring in our guest for today. You guys know him from the War Room with our guy. He rocks with our guys Severe and Chris Protect the Shield on Tuesdays and Thursdays and sometimes on Wednesdays. But this man's probably I consider him one of the best film breakdown guys in the game.
Facts.
Let's go ahead and bring out none other than our guy 805 Raider, Real Talk Raider Nation in the building. Salute my guy.
If we talking football, man, there's no other person that can be on other than 805. They can break it down like he does, man. So again, we appreciate you for being here. I always tell you, man, anytime it comes to talking ball or just talking whatever, man, I always appreciate you just for the conversation, as always.
Man, I appreciate you guys having me on. I appreciate you guys letting me rock on this Saturday. One thing I will say is I come on here and I see that little intro video and I feel like a goddamn amateur sitting with you guys. God damn it, man. I mean, it's something I got to do. I got to get my act together and have some sort of intro video for the War Room. I feel like I'm not doing my guys right, Severe and Chris, man. I mean,
that countdown is epic, dog. I feel like, damn, I'm ready to go to war, bro.
It is epic, man.
I got the countdown, right? I got the countdown, but man, I sit there and I'm just like looking at the screen, your intro video, and I'm like, God, I still am amateur. Jesus Christ, man. I need to get my act together. So, but you guys got it right, man.
That's all Jay, man. That's all Jay.
I appreciate you. Hey, man, but again, like Ren said, thank you for pulling up and rock with us on the Saturday morning, man.
Absolutely.
And salute to everybody here. Let's go ahead and really quick before we actually start deep diving into the show, we got to go ahead and acknowledge our chat. Obviously, chat lives do matter. Real quick, shout out to Big Dog in the building. Salute my guy. Appreciate you pulling up. Silver and Fax in the building. He's already peach and bed chip a cool meal that he can't get 300 yards passing on 100 yards rushing from this offense. That might light a fire under his ass.
Maybe.
Shout out to Silver and Fax. Shout out to Raider Ryan in the building. Salute my guy. Salute to God Family and Raiders, one of my mods here, and a member of the JRB fam. Salute my guy. Dre for show in the building.
What's going on, Dre? One of the mods, man.
Tommy Moda in the building. Good morning, brother. I appreciate you pulling up. Daniel Kim in the building. Salute, my guy. Appreciate you tapping in and rocking with us. Robert Pena in the building. It ain't a show with my guy, Robert Pena. Thank you for pulling up, my guy. Salute. Yes, sir. All right, y'all. And salute to everybody else pulling up right now. Let's go ahead and get into this thing, man. And it ain't a pretty one, but we got to talk about it either way. Raiders 1-4 for the season. Like I said, it's not looking good. Raiders will continue.
You said it so nicely. You said it so nicely.
Come on now.
It's not looking good.
It's not looking good, man.
God damn it.
It's
I'm
terrible.
not trying. I think I've gone so hard at him all week. It's just like, all right, cool. We're getting ready towards game day. I'm all right. I'm gonna dial it back just a smidge.
Sure.
But the Raider Royals continue, man, and it really capped off the week with the Raiders really releasing Jermaine Pratt earlier this week. It honestly, I was like, wow, really? Like, what the fuck else could happen? And then, sure enough, they didn't disappoint with Jermaine releasing literally the best linebacker in the room, Jermaine Pratt. He is no longer Raider, but gentlemen, let me ask you guys real quick. I mean, what do you guys think of everything so far, and especially with the whole Jermaine Pratt release? And then you got some other shit coming out during the week as well. Obviously, the rumor mills out there, issues brewing with the coaches, with the coaching staff. Some very, very head scratching decisions, and we're finding out the reasoning behind those decisions that were made. But I'm gonna start off with 805. What do you think about everything that's boiled down to this point, especially with the release of Jermaine Pratt?
Man, I guess if you have other topics, you might wrap those up now, because it's just like the amount of issues that we've seen ever since that Christian Wilkins situation, right? Real quick, Tommy Moda, man, hey, I got it. We'll crack open an 805 here very soon, brother. Let me get this coffee in, and we might have the first beer with the Good Morning Raider show.
Fire.
But what's wild is that, we were, prior to that Christian Wilkins stuff, we were leading up to that going, man, like, it feels like we have some grown-ups in the room, right? It seemed real quiet during the offseason. Things look like it was just not. You can agree or disagree just how the free agents went, but at the end of the day, everything looked like they were trying to set a little plan in place, And again, you agreed with it or not, it didn't matter. It looked like there were some adults in the room, not a whole lot of drama going on. They were just kind of moving in the direction they wanted to go, right? And then the Christian Wilkins stuff drops, and you're sitting there going, okay, shit, what really went down? Like, he kissed somebody on the forehead. All right, cool. Like, maybe he did just, it went raw and it didn't go down right, and they had to exit him from the building. Okay, got it. But then you have the Jacoby Myers stuff. Then they bring in Amari Cooper less than 24 hours or 40 hours later, and you're just like, what is that, a slap in the face to Jacoby? Like, we don't need you. Then the offensive line shuffle, and then it's like so much crap has gone on from that Christian Wilkins to where now you lead it to Jermaine Pratt, and you're sitting there going, did Jermaine Pratt see the writing on the wall? Did Jermaine Pratt just he's in this locker room? I dropped a video on it, and I'm sitting there going, but at the same time, you have a player in that position group that is a Pete Carroll guy. Is Jamal Adams getting a little more playing time than maybe he should? I don't know. I don't know if there's just drama within that, but if that's it, look, Jermaine Pratt, you got to compete. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to battle your way in that position group. And so if Jamal Adams is going to take your position, then, hey, step your ass up. But at the same time, we're seeing favoritism in this locker room. We're seeing favoritism from this coaching staff. So ultimately, at the end of the day, with everything that's gone on, if Pete Carroll doesn't work out, a lot of us can look back to a lot of this drama that's happened to go, damn, you screwed this thing up. You screwed this thing up in so many ways outside of the record. Yep. And, we could literally, I mean, the favoritism goes deep as Brendan Carroll. You're bringing your son to be the offensive line coach that does not have the resume to be an offensive line coach in the National Football League. I'm sorry. And so you put all this into play. If Pete Carroll don't turn this thing around and it don't work and he don't set us on the right track, there are so many things we can point to be like, you weren't the guy and you screwed this thing up, and here we go in that head coaching carousel all over again. So
100%.
It's tough. It's tough to really digest what's going on right now. If you have issues, winning can cure all, and we ain't winning, so it magnifies and highlights the issues. And this is where we stand.
That's just, 805 put it beautifully. You know what I mean? Yeah. And honestly, I have presented the question, like, what is the difference from last year to this year? And there was so much animosity, there was so much hate, there was so much anger last year, especially towards AP. But I question How is this different? In my estimation, this is worse. This is worse than last year because this coach is supposed to be more experienced. He not only is more experienced, he actually has a quarterback he brought and he told us he believes in, which is nothing AP had last year. He had to work with what he had, and it is what it is. I still have not yet had a viable answer to that question yet. I just get, AP's a clown and so is P the clown. That's not an answer to the question, bro. How is it different? That's what I want to know. When honestly, a lot of us said last year, even before the season, right? This is a first-time head coach. You know what I mean? There is some things he's gonna have to learn. He with Tom Telesco, there's some things we're gonna have to get through. But guess what? We all said continuity. Let's maybe see what it. I don't know if 805 said this, but I said this. Let's see what happens in year 2 if it doesn't work out in year 2 for sure. Now we know, you know what I mean? But at least it's continuity. There's a floor because we've never seen this man coach. We've seen Pete Carroll before. This is the worst start I've really ever seen with Pete Carroll, ever. Yeah, he could talk about the USC stuff and he could talk about all this extra. It don't even feel like it don't even look like that. It don't. Because just as we pointed out, all these locker room issues, all this, all that, we smelled favoritism and something weird with the coaching staff from training camp, but a lot of people wanted to dismiss it, right? Not only did you point out a couple things that you said, 805, I'm gonna point out one of my favorite players on the team, which I believe that Pete's defensive arrogance has ruined, and that's Palomao. I said it from the jump in the offseason. He's not no free safety. He's not. I don't give a fuck what you try to do with him or all the extra, bro. He's been a strong safety since he's been here. That's just what it is. All of a sudden now, people are looking at, he sucks. He doesn't. Why? He's not playing his original position. But we come in here, not only do we do that on defense, we do that on offense with Jackson Powers Johnson. We continue to move people around. We just signed certain guys that only Pete has connections to, which we look and we're like, why? There's other guys available. Why are we getting this motherfucker here? But we just go with who we like and who we know. Apparently is what it looks like. So honestly, I've actually heard this is from other people too, where Jermaine Pratt ain't the only motherfucker who feel like that too in there, where it's like, okay, you talking about special teams and everybody got to play special teams, but Jamal ain't never played no special teams. So why the fuck you tripping on everybody else? Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, it don't make no sense. But didn't we get whiff of that from his stint in Seattle as well? There was whiff. We just we kind of brushed it off. And Marshawn, he showed up to the press conference and everything was peachy keen, but the internet will never forget, right? And then when he had that interview with Shannon Sharp, he told Marshawn don't bullshit. He told it what it was. There's certain guys that you want to prop up and you like a little bit, which certain ones of us don't fuck with that. That's exactly where it is right now. You know what I mean? How I could kind of feel it. He has to get this on track. To me, if he loses this week and Geno gets benched, I've said it all week. It may be a hot take. I don't care. If Geno gets benched and they lose this week, Pete got to go too. They both got to go. Geno and Pete. Because you brought Geno here, dog. You didn't even draft a quarterback because you got Geno. You got to go too, dog.
And you have a proven head coach. You have the highest paid offensive coordinator in the National Football League. You have a respectable defensive coordinator. You had a special teams coach that actually, people actually liked in the past.
Yep.
You brought in your guy. We just want to see progress. If we were 1-4, but we competed against the Commanders, you can sit there and go, look, like we got dealt a shitty hand against the Commanders with the schedule, traveling to the East Coast. Like that was going to be a tough game no matter what. But if you battled, if you lost by a field goal or it was competitive, then you play the Colts. No one expected the Colts to be this good. But if you went in, it's an away game. You're going to Indy. If you were competitive, it would be a very different story with at least the fan base, right? Some people still would be calling for his head because we're 1-4. But if it was competitive, if you saw progress, if we weren't having the situations with special teams, if we didn't have all the drama that's been going on in the offseason, I think you could sit there and go, okay, like it's a new offense. They got to learn. They got to practice. Right. They got to they got to do all these things, right? And you could at least go, okay, Let's sit back and trust the process because of what Pete Carroll has done in the past and the things that he's been able to do.
Exactly.
Right.
But we're getting embarrassed. We're getting embarrassed against Commanders. We're getting embarrassed against the Colts. There are things that you see on film that the offense just does not look right. The switching up of Genty's stance, run down, being a running back, it's like, who truly made that decision to go back to his stance? Did Genty say, fuck you, I'm going back to my stance?
As he should have.
Yeah,
You know,
that was definitely him. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
Like,
I think 805, we talked about this maybe when it first happened. I believe maybe we did.
we did.
We talk all the time. So, but it's like, at first, I didn't like it, and there was a whole bunch of people like, well, Chip Kelly's the coach, Pete's the coach. If that happens, bro, who takes somebody top 10 overall and changes some shit? Why the fuck did they get picked top 10 then? It makes no sense, especially a running back. And I said it immediately. That's why I love the internet. It never lied. As soon as he changed his stance, bro, I saw it in training camp. He don't look comfortable. He didn't. He looked fidgety. You know what I mean? Because that's not his natural stance. Now, I hope he did. I hope that's what Genty said. Like, fuck y'all, bro. I'm about to go back and do what I do. And that's
what's funny though?
We saw the difference. Yep, 100%.
You know what's funny is when the whole switch up of the stance happened, I went on my show with Severe and Chris, and we were just trying to figure out, okay, why do you switch up the stance? And my first thought was, because going back to just my coaching days and playing and stuff like that, it's like I look for tendencies. Yep. And the thing is with that stance is that blitzers are going to come quick, right? You got to be able to get to the line of scrimmage. If you see someone flashing, a linebacker getting up into the gap, you got to get to the line of scrimmage quick. In that stance, you can't do it. In that stance, you don't have that ability to get out your stance, get the line of scrimmage quickly. So over time, will they start to see a lean with him? Will they start to see him leaning a little bit because he knows he has to get to the line of scrimmage? So that could be a tell. So in my opinion, I thought maybe they're switching it up because of past situations to make sure that he doesn't have a tell if they're going to pass. But then they don't use him on third down. So that was out the goddamn that was out the building. Like, I'm sitting there going, wait a second, okay. So then you're not even going to use him on third down in passing situations. So that theory was wrong. Or I mean, not that it was wrong. It was just that you don't like. Then what's the excuse? Then why do you change his stance if you're not going to even use him in situations to where he might have to get out that stance extremely fast, quick, get to the line of scrimmage, and you don't want that tell or that lean prior to the snap. And so, and that's just another that's another issue with this coaching staff is inside the red zone. I believe we've ran the ball like less than 25% of the time. You pick a guy number 6 overall, and you're not going to even lean on him in the red zone. Like, I know a lot of people were talking about. We got to run the ball more last game against the Colts. It's like, look, I get it, you have to, but when you get down so quickly in that goddamn game, and you're down 20-3, the scoreboard dictates the play call. The clock dictates the play call. So you're going to have to get away from the run. You got to utilize the air more. And so that's why they got away with it or got away from it. But I mean, that's on them. That's on them. Special teams, everything. It's like,
yes, that's coaching, bro.
It's
like, and I was saying this 805. I was saying this too. It's like, we're not even some of these teams that can withstand that anyway, right? There are certain teams in the league, right, where they're good enough where it's like, okay, we're down by 10 points early, but if we just play our game, we'll get back into the game. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. We can run the ball. We'll do this. We'll get back. The defense is good enough. We'll be straight. We're not that good. That's what people like. I don't think some people understand that. If we have those turnovers early, these special teams blunders early, we're not a good enough team to overcome those things. We need to be in the game from the jump. It needs to be a good game from the jump, right? No turnovers. We need to play clean, things of that nature. Defense needs to have rest. We need to play real complementary football for us to win games. Yeah. Right now, we're not good enough on either side of the ball to be like, all right, dog, we got y'all. Don't worry.
All three phases. Like, all 3 phases we ain't good.
Nothing. So that's why playing mistake-free is so important. But as soon as a mistake happens, it's been like this, like ever since last year too. But ever since a mistake happens, we fall apart because we don't have the pieces to really pick it up. You know what I mean? And figure out where we need to patch the holes at. So that's kind of the problem. And for me, that's really where the issue is. Because guess what? We had that problem with the first-year head coach last year. This motherfucker's experienced. So why does it look like the team just falls apart? Right? Like it just crumbles to pieces once something happens. It just makes no sense. After that, like a turnover or something like that, it looks like all preparation goes out the window. It looks like we only made second half adjustments in the first week. After that,
that was it.
It's like, hey, we'll see what happens. But I know a lot of people are blaming Chip Kelly. That's one. But I'm gonna take it a step further, even with y'all J805. Something in these press conferences ain't been sounding and smelling right to me. No coach has any synergy between them. It seemed like everybody kind of covering their own ass and trying to point at everybody else. That's what it seemed like to me, especially Pete and Chip, right? Because it don't seem like Pete and Chip on the same page at all. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Can I add to that for just a second? Because if you look at the game film of last week, and there's not a lot of things that you can look at the game film and go, oh, hey, shit, like that looks good. That looks good. Like there's so much miscommunication on the offensive line. There's miscommunication with especially in our run game with our tight ends. The amount of times that I've pointed out where Ian Thomas looks lost and he's supposed to be slicing on potentially like on a inside zone, and he's literally looking at Gino and going, his head's going back and forth going, what I'm going to do, what I'm supposed to do, ball snapped, and he slices like a split zone across the line of scrimmage, and he looks like he's pass blocking 3 yards in the backfield and running into Genty. Like it's just last week when on the 4th and 1, we completed it, but then Gino drops back and runs into Genty. I mean, it's like, I think it was against the Chargers where I think Genty went the wrong way on a run play, and Gino tried to take it. It's like there's so many examples of miscommunication on this offense. But then you have that last week where Gino missed damn near 6 to 7 wide open receivers.
Yep.
And the thing is that out of those 6 to 7, you could say at least 4 were purely designed to go to that receiver, and Gino just didn't pull it. He didn't look at it.
That's what I've been saying. Yeah, that's what.
So that's why it's like, how much can we
there's
blame
a lot of design
Chip?
plays.
Well, and then, but then I'll add on this, and you're right, Randall. Like, how much can we blame him? Because you look like the receivers are there. They're open. They're designed open. But then, if you think about them going back into the coaching room and coaches having discussions and Chip sitting there going, I'm scheming my guys open. My receivers are open. I got our second round Jack Besh going wide open up the seam. I got this. But then do you have Pete Carroll going, no, Gino, man, he's got it. He's our guy. He's got it. And Chip's going, does he? Does he? You know what I'm saying? Like, and so this is where, like, could the animosity just start to build within this coaching staff, because Gino is clearly a Chip Kelly, is a Pete Carroll guy.
Yep.
Where, who knows? Was Chip all in on Gino? I have no clue.
I doubt it.
But we all know sure as shit Gino ain't holding his weight in this quarterback room. So when does that boil over? When does that start to truly cause animosity within this coaching staff? But the only thing I will say off of that is the hard part is there's no beat writer or reporter saying that Kenny Pickett looks good in practice, right? When Gino's this bad, exactly. And so when Gino's that bad, you would think if the beat reporters, the guys that are actually viewing practice, start to see some flashes from Kenny Pickett, they would start asking questions, and they would basically ask that question saying, hey, Kenny Pickett has shown that he's been able to make some good throws in practice. Has there been talks of maybe giving him a chance, if more turnovers, like stuff like that, right? Like you could ask the question a certain way, but we're not hearing it. And I agree with you, Rundown. Like, I don't think Kenny Pickett moves the needle. You go to a Kenny Pickett, we could just scrap the season. But
pretty much,
that's the hard part is you look at the game film and you start to see flashes, but you're sitting there going, the coaching staff and press conferences just don't look like they're meshing well. You know, Pete's basically saying, we need to run the ball more. I don't know why we're not running the ball more. But then you got Chip Kelly coming over and saying, well, the scoreboard dictates what we need to do. And it's like, okay.
And then it's like even with PG, it seemed like the coordinators are not on the same page with Pete, right? Because even PG, when they was talking about Pratt, I never like to let good players leave the building, right? And shit like that. When you say something like that, right, that lets me, and 805, you've been in the coaching ranks too, but as a player, I hear some shit like that. You already let me know I'm not really on board with that shit. To be honest with you, you know what I mean? I really didn't want to release him, but it's out of my hands. It's out of my hands.
Yeah. I got that clip for what you're talking about for PG. Let me go ahead and put it up, and that way everybody can get a little bit of context of what we're talking about here. This is PG earlier in the week in regards to Jermaine Pratt kind of being released. So let me go ahead and play that.
What was your reaction to the team moving on from Jermaine Pratt?
Just, again, there's, Coach already talked about that. So, love having good players around. And, it is what it is when we make decisions. I'm looking forward to the defense just stepping up, just in general. Just, the linebacker position, it's going to take all 11 out there. We'll see who's out there playing and things of that nature. But it's going to take a good effort to replace a good player like that.
The defense has caused some tip balls and some batted balls, like you mentioned with Snowden, but they're not coming up with the turnover. Is that just it's coming, it's going to come in bunches, or how do you generate more of those turnovers?
Here's what I would tell you. I'm so tired. I'm trying to be mindful of my language of talking about whatever it is we got to do. That's how they feel. We got to do. So I could talk about we're doing this, that. We just got to make it happen. Got to take the ball away. However it happens, that's what we got to do. So that's how I'm talking to him. You can see my whole mood and demeanor change. Done talking, we got to do. So we're unlucky. I mean, the language I would use right now, F that. But no, we got to do. That's what says just win, baby. We just got to do it. That's what we got to do.
I have a thought after this week, but either way, he's 100% correct. But just you can see it in his demeanor, bro. Everybody tired, but it just don't look like everybody is on the same page for me. It just don't. And I think, I might be on a limb, but what 805 is saying could be true, bro. Where it's like, Pete, you defending this dude, you playing knight in shining armor for this player over here when everybody up in here know he's not playing well. But when we go into press conferences and when we read articles, you go as far as to even blame receivers that they're not, running routes correctly or doing this. And this is why Geno was throwing balls. And it is, don't even get me started on Geno, dog. He says some shit in this presser, bro, where if he plays bad this week, dog, I will unleash hell fury on this man. If he play bad this week, because he said some shit in his presser I wasn't feeling. I wasn't feeling none of it. But either way it goes, bro, with PG, hey, I'm all right with him being interim if they lose this week. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, yeah. I 100% agree with you on Geno's presser. When I heard Geno's presser,
I didn't like it.
I felt like I was talking to my old one that used to be a teenager. Just giving me all the goddamn excuses in the world why you did something wrong. You know what I'm saying? This is like, it's like he was getting defensive right out the box, and he was lying. He was basically saying, "Oh, all my picks are getting popped up in the air. Can't do nothing." But I'm like, no, bro. Like two, maybe
only two of them.
And it's just like, stop it. Yeah, like no, they're baiting your ass into interceptions. I'm sorry, this is on you. But to go back to Patrick Graham's presser, the hard part, man, is you see the stamp that Pete Carroll has on this defense, the cover 3 Pete Carroll defense. You see, this is what Pete Carroll wanted to do. This is what he did in Seattle. He's brought in his prototype corners, right? Yeah. The 6'2" plus corners. Like, he brought in those guys. You see the stamp that Pete Carroll has on this defense. And I wonder if, again, it kind of goes back to the coaching room. I wonder if the thing Patrick Graham has shown in all of his years of coaching, going back to him at New York, that he can dial up different defenses. Last year, we saw a 5-2 defense out of him that I didn't see in the past, right? Mm-hmm. And so he can dial up different things. He can get creative with it. But it feels like he's kind of stuck in this cover 3. And you see it 80% of the time that you're kind of stuck in this cover 3. And I don't know, at some point, you got to let a coordinator be the coordinator. You got to let him dial things up the way that he feels it should be, not always just being dictated from the top. And the thing is that defenses has changed. Offenses have changed since Pete Carroll kind of has been here a little bit, right? I know it's only been a few years since his stint in Seattle, but offenses have evolved because of the change of the basically 2 high safety sets within the defense, right? A lot of defenses now run those 2 high safeties. And so that's why you saw the evolution of the Kansas City offense. Kansas City went from that high flying, we're gonna beat you on top offense to where now all of a sudden they kind of hit you with those quick hitters. They hit you with the RPOs. They hit you with those short, quick hitting routes because they changed things up because of the way defenses have evolved. So the cover 3, you don't see it that much. You see it in certain situations, 3rd and long type of situations. You see it more strategically used as opposed to a base defense. And I think this is where Patrick Graham there might be some frustration there as well. And so, it goes back to the point, Jay, you bring it up and run down. You kind of said it's like, when does this animosity start to clash in this coaching staff room? Because 1-4 and all the drama that we've seen so far kind of tells it all, to be honest.
100%.
Yep. That's where I'm at, man. It's like, I'm just echoing it, bro. It sounded crazy when I said it on Monday, and I will continue to say it. If they lose this week, right? They lose. Really, I'm trying to figure it out, right? Because how do I want to say this? Is this a must-win for y'all? Before I even say what I need to say, is this a must-win game?
100%.
100% for us to salvage any bit of a building, anything in the season, we have to win tomorrow. If not, it's a wrap. Okay. That's my opinion on that.
Now, if we come out here tomorrow and do these post games, and the Titans have scored close to 30 points, and get this right, the Titans have never even been close to that shit in the season at all. Last week was the first time they got over 20. It was the first time. So if they come out here and they are scoring point after point after point, and the offense looks inept still, and they're throwing turnover after turnover, right? And this is at home, nonetheless. I want Mark on the first plane, wherever he's at from the Aces Championship. Throw that projector on. It's time. I don't give a fuck. If they get blown out tomorrow, bro, there's no way.
Don't bring out the projector.
There's no way you can justify losing at home and the Titans looking that good, right? Like that's where I'm like, there's no way. So
you lose at home. You lose at home, and you got a Kansas City Chiefs team that gets Rashid Rice back this week. So he has 2 weeks to kind of get back into playing shape, get dialed up. A pissed off Kansas City Chiefs team that has our number. We'd like to wake them up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be motivated for that one. It's in Arrowhead.
Oh, yeah.
And then we go into a bye, and we still got to play the Jags that are actually on fire right now. So it's like, it's just like this is a must win because the next 2 games are going to be tough as all hell. So like if you don't pull this one in,
let them scoot away, man. Come on, 805. You know what time it is, bro.
I know, but if you don't pull this one off, I don't see a potential win until someone wants to bench all their players because they're making playoffs. I have no clue. Like it's just, I don't see where the win comes from with the remaining part of our schedule. If we can't beat a Titans that shouldn't even won last week, that's the thing. They shouldn't even be 1-4. They should be 0-5.
Yeah.
And if you lose against the Titans at home, and look, shout out to everybody. I'll be at J-Lot. I'm going to be rocking. If you guys are out there, I'll be going to it. I'm not going to the game, but I'll be at J-Lot, be walking around, having a good time. But if we lose this game.
Yeah. Shout out DJ in the building, man. What's going on? And Mr. Akon, I like it. Must win, baby. Look, check this out. I'm with y'all because I do feel like you have to win this game. You're too experienced. Your quarterback is too veteran, right? Your quarterback is too veteran. You got too many veteran players on here to lose these type of games. But I'm prepared. And I'm prepared for this, dog. Mark, you know what you need to do, dog. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. I know there's been a lot of conversation of like, we can't just keep firing coaches. Yes, we can. If it's this bad, yes, you can. At the end of the day, bro, it's all about if it works, it works, right? Nobody gives a fuck how you do it, right? Say, what if Mark gets the next coach right? Nobody cares what happened these last 2 years. Nobody cares. It's about getting it right. And if it's not right and it don't smell right, you got to get rid of it. Right. And that's where I'm at. Because exactly what 805 is saying is what most of us was warning y'all in the beginning. This is the easier part of the schedule. We fucking up in the easier parts.
Yeah.
Right. Just
It's not
imagine.
getting easier.
I'm going to tell y'all right now, if none of y'all watched that Jaguars game, yeah, the Chiefs only scored, what they score, like 14, 20-something points. Right. And everybody been saying, oh, the offense don't look good. Them couple drives that the Chiefs had on last Monday, they're going to do that up and down the field on our ass next week. I guarantee you, they are going to whoop our ass. I can see that immediately. They get Rashee Rice back. It's over.
Now let me ask you this. Let me ask you this because Renat's saying if we let go of Pete, we should let go of Pete if we don't win this game. So if you let go of Pete, do you let go of Spytek? Do you think they're married to the hip?
No. Yeah.
No. You let the rest of these coaches kind of play it out. But if Bo Hardigree, the new offensive coordinator for the Titans, comes up and dials something up, and Chip can't do a goddamn thing, bro, like, this is why this game is so bad. Because if Bo Hardigree puts up like 20 plus,
it's over.
And we put up like 12 or 13, like, could you imagine what this fan base does? Like, I told Leo, man, I'm not going to the game. You go into the game. If we lose to the Titans, I'm blowing it up. You better get out that stadium quick.
Bro, yeah.
Like, the storylines with this game, if we lose, it's and I hate to be on that week 6, right? Like, we are talking like this on week 6. This is how bad, just and dysfunctional this coaching staff and team is at this point. I mean, like, if Bo Hardigree dials up more points than Chip Kelly, I just can't. There's no excuses at that point. There's no excuses.
Why don't we just let PG?
Whatsoever.
Would you let PG be interim if it came down to it? Who are you choosing as interim head coach?
God damn. Here's the hard part is, like, I hate that receivers were open last week because you sit there and go, damn, like, okay, it looks like the offense, at least in the passing game, it was there. Just Gino wasn't pulling it. Yeah. But there's still confusion in the run game. There's still confusion with the offensive line, the pass blocking scheme, and their assignments. I almost feel if you want to have any chance at bringing back some of your better players, because we have 26 players either on the last year of their contract or on a 1-year contract. We have over half of this roster playing on the last year of their contract. Yeah. If you want any chance at bringing back some decent names, Max Crosby not forcing his way to a trade at the end of the offseason, Adam Butler, he's on a 3-year. Anybody that flashes, and actually has a good season, you got to put Patrick Graham there. You got it just as an interim, because to save any face as to what Mark Davis did, you got to put Patrick Graham there. But at this rate, man, I swear, I'm just like, if we lose the Titans and we go like 2
top 3 pick
in 15,
top 3 pick,
it's like you might as well. And let's do this. If we go 2 and 15, all of our draft picks do not show anything, like Genty, he's been flashing, right? But then this front office didn't address the offensive line like they should have. So flashes should have been a good season. Flashes should have been a successful season for Genty if you manage the draft and free agency properly. But if Jack Best doesn't do anything, if Darian Porter doesn't do anything, if our two offensive linemen that you picked at the end of the 3rd round
can't even get on the
show up, don't even get on the field. They showed up in the field goal block. Charles Grant showed up in field goal block. That was it. Like, if none of our draft picks actually pan out, then do you trade away Max Crosby and give these guys 2 first-rounders potentially? Like, it's just, there are so many things that's going on that I just can't even tell you where the hell we go at this point. I'm so serious.
That's why I've been saying fire Pete for me, because it's like I'm not trying to give Pete no top 3 pick. For me, I don't want to give him that. I don't think he'll. I don't think he'll serve it correctly. Now with Spytek, I don't know. The book is still a little out for me. Reason being, Genty's cool. Second round. See, this is why I'm like so weirded out, right? Because I think Besh can play, but I think it's I think it's Pete and them who is fucking that up, right?
Yeah, we haven't seen enough of Besh yet.
I have very good authority that Thornton is not all the way a Spytek pick, right? So when I hear that, right, and I hear that Thornton is not all the way a Spytek pick, and now I see he plays hella, and Besh is struggling to get on the field, we've already seen who's responsible for shit like that already. So it's kind of hard when it comes to that. Now the lineman, that's on Spy, bro. Like you knew you was getting a running back, dog. I don't know what the fuck you were thinking, right? Yeah. So you should have prioritized that a little bit more. Porter, I don't know, because I kind of like the way he played last week. Now maybe because Kelly was so trash. Right,
they didn't go after Porter. They knew they could pick on Kyle Kelly, so they're like, we're not going to mess with this kid. Like,
maybe it's that bad, right? So it's like, okay, maybe it's that. So I'm excited to see what he looks like with Stokes coming back, because I think him and Stokes should be the starters anyway. So that would be nice to see. Book is out. I kind of like him though. Tonka he's not bad. He's not bad. He's not great.
He flashed last week. He definitely did.
He's not bad. Piggies too. I kind of, Piggies, they're not bad. So I'm intrigued to see. Now, I'm not mad at Grant either, because I had a feeling Grant wasn't going to play this year anyway. I knew what time it was.
I wasn't a fan of the pick, but yeah.
Yeah, red shirt. Now Rodgers is the one I'm like, what the hell is going on there? Like, how come he can't find the field?
I know. And here's the thing, though. But what John Spytek did in the offseason, I'm telling you, I don't think it lines up with what truly Pete Carroll wanted to do. Pete Carroll brought in a veteran quarterback to win now. Pete Carroll doesn't have 12 to 15 years as a head coach. Like, he maybe has 2 at best.
Yeah.
I mean, just the way that this is going, he's got maybe 2 at best. So I think Pete Carroll truly wanted to win now. He came in out of a presser and said, we win in 10 games. I'm used to winning 10 games. You know what I'm saying? And so you bring in a veteran. You bring in a veteran quarterback. You knew you're going to go after Genty in the draft. You get Alex Kappa as your solution to the offensive line. You get rid of Thayer Mumford, which again, Thayer Mumford wasn't great, but then you get Forsyth, which was probably the worst starting offensive lineman last year. And then you go bargain shopping everywhere else when we had all the salary cap in the world. So what Pete Carroll wanted does not line up with what John Spytek was doing in free agency. It just doesn't.
I think Spy, because to me, that's why I'm not too mad, because I think he's doing it correctly. Right. I think Spy is actually understanding we're not in the upper echelon of the AFC. We need to build. We need a fucking quarterback. Right. And so I'm just going, okay, let me get this here for right now. Let me get these here for right now. And I think even 805, we talk all the time. So probably even talked about this. But like we said it even before free agency, this class in free agency ain't exactly the best free agency class either.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like,
it was terrible. Yeah.
Who are we going to overspend on? And at the time, I'm like, I understand him not overspending on mid players, right? Which is different this year. Now that we have all this money and there are better free agents coming out this year, now I can properly judge what Spytek will do in his second year.
And so to your point, you can say it just like this. Pete Carroll gave us all the sound bites, like he wants to win now, but Spytek shows us we're in a rebuild. All of Spytek's moves shows us we're in a rebuild.
We're in a rebuild.
But Pete Carroll was giving us the sound bites, like he wants to win 10 games. And again, like
over 10 games.
But again, like, yeah, he should want to win 10 games because he's old as dirt. Like, I swear to God, like, I don't even know if he's going to be around by the end of next year. Like, that was my biggest knock on bringing him in is, and I forget who else. Maybe I said this on my live last night. Was look, like, you don't know when age hits you, and the people around you.
No.
When age hits you, they start to speculate. So we might go a full year of Pete Carroll if he's with us next year. we might go a full year of people surrounding that organization being like, oh shit, are we seeing the signs? And you're gonna waste an entire year of seeing the signs of old age, and then we're done. That's why, to go back and talking like this, I'm only halfway through my coffee. I might be graduating to what I got down here. God damn it. I might break out the goddamn beer in a second. But like, my thing is that if we trade Max Crosby at some point during the season, by the trade deadline, or even at the end of this season,
it's gonna hurt my heart.
What
hurt my heart.
are you gonna give 100%, right? But are you gonna give Pete Carroll, a guy that doesn't even care who we get as a quarterback, but he ain't gonna be around to even coach the kid up or even to reap the rewards of that at all? I mean, why are we gonna give this guy 2 first rounders when he's not going to even be here?
Like, I'm not trying to give him nothing for real. I don't want him, because this is the thing. And I've even brought this up. He's never even drafted no quarterback that I can look at and say, well, like Russell Wilson is the only one, right? But that's 3rd round, right? That's 3rd round, and he picked him, and he surprised him in training camp. Cool. I have given me one instance where Pete Carroll has went through the draft, went through the process, evaluated the talent, and said, okay, that's the guy I want in the 1st round at quarterback. He's never done that shit. Never. Right. No. So it's like, I don't want him a part of that. Now, the only way that you can sell it to me is if we have that top 3 pick where it's very hard to fuck it up. Right. And then you can be like, all right, bro, like, this is auto Madden draft where you can just pick this dude and we know he's the best quarterback if that's the case. But next thing, all this animosity we're seeing, bro, it just don't smell good for me. Right. And as much as it sucks to say, we're probably going to have to let the coaching staff that is here now, everybody going to have to go. And we're going to have to let Spy pick the new coach, preferably an offensive guy, right? Maybe a Joe Brady, something like that. And you allow him to select his quarterback with his people. That's what everybody else does. But at this point, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. If we lose against the Titans, flip this bitch around. I'm sorry. Like, just flip it upside down.
It's time.
And I'm with it.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, even as much as I don't want to get rid of Max, it will hurt my fucking heart. And maybe we can Myles Garrett him, if so. But because if we have a top 3 pick, I mean, do we really need to get rid of him? I mean, at that point, it's like we're already up there. Who cares? But if Pete fucks around and he wins some games out of spite, right, now we're top 8. Now we do got to probably do that.
But here's the thing: if we get a top 3 pick, and we are in true rebuild mode, you're drafting a quarterback for the future. Max is only on a 3-year contract.
Oh yeah,
is he going to stick around for a complete rebuild?
He ain't gonna get.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, should we even hang on to him, knowing that he's not going to? He may not even reap the rewards of a complete rebuild. And so, I would, I know we always talk about nobody's above the shield and all this stuff. Well, the shield looks like shit, and it's looked like shit for a long ass time. 100%. And so, like, I understand as a player, Max bleeds silver and black. He does. He wants to be here, but he wants to be here if this organization does the right thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like Max wasn't born a Raider fan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was built into it. He was adopted into it. We're all diehard Raider fans because we bleed it. We've bled it the majority of our lives. I'm 42 years old. I've been a Raider fan since 9 years old, right? So we can talk like that. But Max is like, bro, at some point, he's like, I want my shit. I take my game to an elite level. I want an organization that matches that and potentially will help me either get to the Hall of Fame or win a Super Bowl. And he's like, fuck, I don't even know if this organization can do it for me.
Do you think he would stay if he saw a quarter? Because of the thing, I even know that he for a couple of years has been like, dog, we gotta draft something as far as quarterback, right? And he's wanted some quarterback. Maybe that'll give him some inspiration. Yeah, and maybe that'll give him some inspiration. I don't know if you showed this already, Jay.
Oh no. Really quick, shout out to our guy G Fam with the $10 bomb. He says, our Raiders are killing me, fam. Thank God the Raiders are playing. The Dodgers are playing good.
As a fact,
hard time in the nation when our fantasy teams are funner than our own team. LOL. O-line needs to fix above all 100%.
Nah, yeah,
Shout
it's
out to my guy G.
always good when the Dodgers win, man. My grandpa was a huge Dodger fan before he died. He didn't get to see him win all these chips, man. So always good to see them win.
I was joking. I was in the chat with Jeff and Nate and all them, and I was joking because Nate showed up. Jay, you might be on with them when Nate showed up with all of his Golden Knights gear.
Yeah.
And I sat there and I was like, bro, I'm not a hockey fan. I love going to games. I love going to hockey games. It's fun, but I don't follow hockey. But the Golden Knights are the shit out here in Vegas, and I'm in the Vegas area. I'm sitting going, bro, if we continue to suck, I might learn hockey. I'll be honest. Like it's just like I'm serious. I mean, everybody out here are Golden Knights fans. When I moved here in 2020, all my neighbors, they'll be like, I'm moving all my Raider stuff in through the garage, and they're like, hey, nice to meet you. You new to the neighborhood, blah blah. I'm like, yeah, and they're like, oh, we see you're a Raider fan. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm a Raider fan. They're like, oh, that's cool. But are you a Golden Knights fan? And I'm like, I'm not really a hockey fan, but I love going to games, right? I'm telling you, like, I'm going to still rock the Raiders. I'm going to still watch them. I'm going to still, do this content stuff, everything. Nothing's going to stop that. But I might get a little more joy watching maybe the Golden Knights a little bit.
Like I'm saying, bro. I'm saying at this point, it's like we got to do shit that gives us joy. At this season, again, like now, I really hope we win tomorrow. I hope we look good. I think Genty has a good day tomorrow. I mean, the Titans have a shitty rushing defense, so I think he can have a potentially nice little day. That's why I wore the pin today. He gonna go ahead and do his thing. And I'll give shout out to Stone Forsyth for last week. He actually didn't play that bad.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
He actually didn't play that bad. I thought it was gonna be way worse. So he actually played against one like a pretty cool competition as well. So I'm not gonna be too mad. I think if he can continue to produce like he did last week, we might have another good day. But it's again like if our quarterback is throwing multiple interceptions against the fucking Titans, yeah, dog. Wrap it up. It's like what else are we gonna do? He has multiple games with multiple turnovers, and you want to continue to come out here and spew excuses to me. That's why I said, look, I really do hope that Geno plays well tomorrow. I hope that the offense looks good tomorrow. If he does not, oh my God, dog. The rants and the hell fury that this man will face for me is gonna be nasty. Nasty.
All of us.
It's gonna be bad.
It's gonna be really bad for sure. But let's go ahead and kind of get into tomorrow's game, Week 6 preview versus Titans. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the injury report from yesterday. I just bookmarked it.
All right. I see Tommy Moda in here. We're making this happen. We're making this happen this morning.
Yes, sir.
You already started out. I'm like, damn, man.
All right.
I'm gonna pull
Tommy Moda. It's actually it's. I don't have any cold 805, so it's a Miller Lite today. I don't know what I grabbed. But once the 805s get cold, I'm gonna crack one open.
I'm gonna be right back. I'm being requested to go check on some dad shit outside. Give me 1 second.
Anything, brother. Shout out to you, Moda. First drink of the weekend. We have some fun.
There you go. So let's go ahead and talk about the injury report. So on our side, we already know Brock Bowers is out. No Brock Bowers in this game. He's still going to be out. A.G. Cole is questionable, but from what we heard from Pete in the presser earlier this week, it looks like he's going to go ahead and play tomorrow. Everybody else, Max Crosby had full practice. So did Big Mike. JPJ I guess he has an ankle injury, but he had full practice all this week. Eric Stokes was limited on Wednesday, but he had full practice Thursday and yesterday. And Pegues wasn't listed on Wednesday, but had full practice Thursday and Friday. On the Titans side, you got a few guys or quite a few guys are banged up. You got lineman Blake Hans, he's out. Marcus Harris, he's out. Corner receiver Van Jefferson, he's questionable. I don't know if he's gonna play. Arnick's out. They got Latham, he's questionable. Got another guy in Bryce Oliver. He's out. And then their kicker is also out too. And then you got a couple guys questionable, obviously, as well. But Tyler Lockett, another guy that's kind of a little bit banged up. It looks like he's going to go ahead and play on Sunday. But looking at this injury list, I mean, Raiders have a shot to go ahead and win tomorrow. You know, a lot of the time guys are banged up, but you know, I think probably the big thing here is that we're gonna have Big Mike. He's gonna be back tomorrow, which is big news. And I want to ask you this, 805, how much of an impact do you think he's gonna be?
Him coming back after the concussion, I think he should have some impact. The problem is, man, our tight ends aren't blocking well in the run game.
Yeah.
Ian Thomas, Brock Bowers, obviously he's going to be out, but Michael Mayer hasn't blocked well. You know, you look at the game film, tight ends are struggling blocking. Again, I don't know if it's miscommunication. It's also scheme. They're not putting tight ends in the right situation to kind of get to their blocks. But he's just another weapon in the passing game that we have to be able to utilize. With Brock Bowers being out, you got to be able to get him the ball probably early just to free up some other guys, right? If you can get Michael Mayer involved just a little bit, might free up Jacoby Myers because you've got to pay a little more attention. Might free up Trey Tucker a little bit. So we got to have just another passing threat on the field. And so you got to get to him early and showcase him just to help the defense play honest, right? But not only is this a game that we should win, on paper, this is a game that we have to win. There's no reason why we don't beat the Titans. I believe their offensive line is they're healthy, but they're coming off of an injury. I think their left tackle is coming back from I think he's been gone for a couple weeks. I think that might have been 3 weeks. So, and I think they've been shuffling that offensive line a little bit. I know they got J.C. Latham on there, but I think they've been shuffling that offensive line. So that tells me we better get to that quarterback. We better be able to kind of get some pass rush going. Their receivers don't do a good job of securing the football through the catch. I mean, they've got a lot of drops over there. I got Calvin Ridley on my fantasy. It ain't looking too hot up until last week. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so Calvin Ridley finally woke up. But prior to that, it's been a lot of drops on that Titans offensive side. And so if you can kind of stick on their hip, if you can continue to force them to have contested catches, if they already have drop issues, then you got to just play sticky coverage, right? And continue to have them show those issues. So on paper, there's no reason why we lose this football game.
Yeah.
And so it's just more reason why, man, we got to be able to pull this thing off. But with the shuffling of their offensive line, I think their left tackle coming off of injury, I think we better see a pass rush. We better see Malcolm Kuntz, Max, even Adam Butler. You know, Adam Butler's been double teamed all season long, but even through the double team, he's got to be able to fight to work off of it. Thomas Booker, he's worthless. I'm sorry. He might have that flash where he bats a ball down or he forces a strip, a fumble 15 yards downfield because he hustles, but he can't get off the blocks. He's the one getting the single man-to-man block, and he can't do anything off of it. And he's actually getting replaced a lot by Jonah Laulu, JJ Pegues, Tonka Hemingway. There's a reason why these other interior defensive linemen are getting play. It's Thomas Booker, he
can't get off the blocks. Mm-hmm.
He can't. He's horrible. He gets stalemated every single time. He gets zero pass rush. He's almost as bad as Tyree Wilson in a pass rush. He's got no second move. So this is the opportunity where we need to see at minimum a 3-sack game. And I know that if you let Cam Ward out of the pocket and you let him kind of extend the play a little bit, it's not good. But I got to see a 3-sack game at this defense and get after that quarterback because I think that's where they are really susceptible is that offensive line.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. I mean, will we finally see production from Kuntz? Because I have not seen anything from him really that sticks out that makes you say, "Hey, this is the guy that we need to go ahead and keep and bring back next year and extend the guy." Right now the way that he's playing looks like he ain't gonna be back next year.
It sucks because Kuntz has kind of flashed these last couple of weeks. Not saying that he's doing anything consistent whatsoever, because you're right, he's not consistently doing well. But in a couple games, I mean, they're scheming right at him. They're bringing triple teams at him. They just know that they're going after an undersized edge rusher. Now he's showing flashes of being able to kind of get off a block, set the edge. He's done it back-to-back weeks where he's made solid tackles off the edge against offensive tackles. Larger bodies in front of him, but he's shown some flashes in the pass rush, but we got to see more, right? So I'm with you. Like we got to see more out of Malcolm Kuntz, and because again, I believe their left tackle's coming off an injury. J.C. Latham is out there, and I think they shuffled him around a little bit. This is the game that we got to see Max Crosby go off and Malcolm Kuntz get to that quarterback at least one time. Yeah. Get to that quarterback and have an impact a little bit, because I do think that he's got to have a little bit of a breakout game, because this is a game that we have to win, because on paper, we should.
We should, exactly. And this is the game for Malcolm to go ahead and do it. Real quick, shout out to my guy, Space Beast, with the $2 holler. He says, no faith in the team, but I believe in J Run and 805. Shout out to our guy, Space Beast.
I see where the conversation at. For me, bro, I'm gonna be real. I'm glad we didn't pay him that extra big contract this season. This is like another reason why I'm like, okay, Spy did pretty well in certain areas. Like a lot of people were clamoring to get this man signed up to long-term, big-term money. And I'm glad we gave him this type of contract, because usually, I mean, now we don't know the factors. Usually players do say, I've always said this, it takes a year to come off those ACL injuries and feel normal, how they're used to feeling. But a lot of us from the preseason said it from the preseason, dog. He don't look like himself. He don't look quick. The bend is not there anymore. The speed off the line is not there. I remember Malcolm Kuntz, and I know Malcolm Kuntz for damn near being the first person out of his stance when the ball is snapped. You know what I mean? And his bend before the injury, that was one of the things I remember too. It's not there right now. Now you can say it's because of the injury. You can say he's starting slow. Whatever the case may be, we have to say facts are facts, though. This is money year, right? This is a money year, and you have one sack. So at the end of the year, the decision makers are gonna hear, "Oh, well, I was injured, and I was just getting myself back to all that." No, they're just gonna look at the stats. They're gonna look at what he makes or what he's done, and this is what you're worth to us. That's just what they're going to do. So this is another example of, I always say, as fans, we can't just keep putting these players on pedestals and, okay, they're this, and we want to will them to that when they're not that, right? Production. What is the production? For Kuntz, he has not produced. Damn near, I'm ready to revamp, and that's what I'm saying, like, a rebuild does make sense, because I'm ready to revamp the whole starting defensive line at this point, because we need more. We need more talent in there.
In one thing that when we were all doing our mock drafts last offseason, right? The one thing that I always targeted in the mock drafts was an edge rusher starting at about the 4th round, because the thing is, you have Malcolm Kuntz coming off an ACL injury, right? He's coming off an injury. You don't know how he's going to recover off of that. And GFAM had a comment saying that, yes, it takes time without question. You saw how long it took Colton Miller to kind of get up to speed last year coming off of his injury. So it does take time. And I like Malcolm Kuntz, there are flashes there, but we need more consistency. So, but I knew that we needed to bring in somebody in this edge rushing room that's going to be able to push Malcolm Kuntz, that's going to be able to provide that competition, that's also going to be able to possibly be that next man up if Kuntz doesn't work out or he walks at the end of this offseason. You know what I'm saying? And we don't bring him back. Because the thing is, you already have one high-paid edge rusher. This was, obviously, we had Christian Wilkins at the time. another high-paid interior defensive tackle. But the thing is, I'm not gonna drop bank on another edge rusher when you have a Christian Wilkins contract and a Max Crosby contract. This was all in the offseason. So for me, I wanted to get an edge rusher that was going to potentially replace Malcolm Kuntz. And so I would always focus, I think in one of the mock drafts, I got Jared Ivey. I like the kid in the later rounds, I like the kid out of UCLA. Severe knows him. But there was guys that I wanted to target in the draft, knowing that you got to bring in competition. And just in case Malcolm Kuntz just does not get up to 100%, that 2023 playing level, you got to prepare for that. And we didn't address the edge rushing position at all outside of the undrafted free agents, and we brought in Jaw Joyner. Like, I just don't think, again, the draft was managed well enough to prepare us for some of the injuries or lack of recovery that we may see. Again, still early. Malcolm Kuntz still has some time to really kind of get this thing going again. But, Severe Femi. Oladejo. It's just tough.
Yeah, Oladejo.
Yeah.
I did. Wanted that dude.
It is tough. It is tough. As you know, production has to outweigh all. And at this point, at them 8 games, he was on the trajectory, but the injury did ruin everything. So it's the unlucky draw, so to speak. But we got to move on. We got to find some guys. There are some guys this year that I take immediately, especially if we got a top 3 pick. That Ruben Bain from Miami looked pretty good to me. If we're not going to get no quarterback, for sure, I'll take one of those. But, it's like we cannot keep putting our eggs into certain baskets that aren't really producing us anything. Right now, again, you look at Kuntz. Like, sure, he has an unlucky draw. What the fuck is Tyree's excuse? He looked like trash, right? And these sacks that he's getting, I've said it already. When Tyree is unblocked, he's Julius Peppers. He's Julius Peppers when he's unblocked, bro. But when he's blocked, he is one of the worst defensive ends in the league. He is.
I mean, you know what we call him. You know what we call him in the war room. He's an unblocked Hall of Famer. That's
I'm
what he is.
telling you, bro. He's Julius Peppers when he's unblocked, man. When I saw a Bears play where he's continuing to drive the offensive lineman back, and he looks at Caleb Williams run past him. Like, what are you doing? Like, get off the block, shed the block, but he doesn't. He continues to do the same thing he's been doing for years. I'm done with that. So I'm saying I'm ready for that ink to run dry.
The sack that he got last week, I believe it was last week. I showcased it. It was the last play that I showed on our film breakdown. It was the last play. Appreciate you, Dan Kim. It was the last play that we showed on our film breakdown. And I did it on purpose. Tyree actually got his sack. But what happened? It wasn't because he worked his way through. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I take it back. The last play was him actually getting off of a block and making a tackle. So I scratched that. But
okay,
the last sack that he had, the offensive lineman let him go. He did nothing to get off the block. He did nothing to rip through the block. He didn't showcase a second move. Nothing. The offensive lineman let him go, and he got to the quarterback. And so at the end of the day, it's like we're in year 3 now. We're in year 3, and it's the same old Tyree. So time to move on. The experiment's over in another way.
I thought we were going to move on this offseason. For whatever fucking reason, they decided not to, and they like what he had, and I haven't seen anything different.
No, zero difference, bro.
And I see Mr. Akon, he's saying Tyree out of position too. Like, there is no position on for him on this front line. Like, I'm sorry,
he just sucks.
When we watched him in the 2023 season, I believe it was against the Giants. I believe when we moved him to the interior, I came out and I posted a video saying, "This is where I think he needs to play." Not saying he's going to be good, but I think this is where he might be able to be serviceable. Is in the interior. And then they keep playing around with him. So again, I'm not saying he's going to be good on the inside, and he's not. Like, there's just no place for him on this front four. I'd much rather see Tonka Hemingway on the interior, because Tonka Hemingway is showing some quickness on the interior defensive line. He's showing flashes, which is good for a rookie. JJ Pegues is showing he's just holding his own. He's not getting driven backwards. So look, start investing in some of these younger kids. So some of these draft picks. I want to see more Tonka Hemingway, JJ Pegues, Tyree. I'll give you 3 reps a game, big dog. That's all you're getting.
Because I can't take it no more, bro. You had enough time. Last year showed me everything I needed to know, bro. And I think all of us said it. If you can't produce with Max Crosby not on the field and Christian Wilkins hurt, and you still can't show us no flashes, and you're getting all of this time, then you're just not the guy. What did Tommy say? He's gonna get his 5th-year option picked up. Probably because we might have no depth.
Yeah, he says he's not going to get his 5th.
Oh, he's not. Okay.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah. He says he's not going to.
100%. I'm right with you, Tommy. I was about to say if he does, bro, it's because we have no depth, and we have to.
And I hated Tyree's game film when we drafted him. He wasn't even on my radar because we had Chandler Jones at the time.
Yep.
Yeah. So he wasn't even on my radar. And when we drafted him, I remember I was texting my best friend, and he's a diehard Raider fan. We're going back and forth. I went back and I looked at Tyree's game film because, again, he wasn't even on my radar. I said, holy shit, this guy is an unblocked giant. Like, that's what he is. Like, he played at Texas Tech. The reason why he was a highlight hero. That's what he was. Anthony Richardson is a highlight hero. There's certain guys that people get caught up on highlights that they think that's it. But the thing is that if you go back and look at Tyree Wilson at Texas Tech, when he had his highlights, he only bull rushed his way through smaller offensive linemen, which he played at Texas Tech, small school. He was a man amongst boys. He could muscle people up. But then what they did was, because he could muscle people up, they ran a bunch of RPOs off of him, and he was the read man. And there's a lot of highlights where the quarterback just made the bad read. They made the wrong read, and so all of a sudden he's got a highlight. And so a lot of his highlights were just the offense screwing up and then leaving him unblocked because they couldn't handle him because he was just a man amongst boys. And so when you get caught up in that, I'm looking at the game film going, holy shit, like, this kid is going to struggle in the National Football League if you just watch his college game film, because nothing told me on his game film that he's going to be able to dominate bigger, more athletic offensive linemen in the National Football League.
Yeah.
And here we stand. So
not surprised. Okay, so this just came out about an hour ago. Shout out to Raiders Resistance. Shout out to the guy Press. But Raiders could trade. Wait, what? Raiders Jacoby Myers could be traded. Okay, ahead of trade deadline.
Makes sense. All the sense in the world.
As you should. 100%. As you should. I said this from the jump on Monday. I want him traded. And it's not because it's anything personal. It's because, one, right, we have no plans to keep him anyway. You could pretty much tell they're not going to keep him. So why are you gonna waste this out? And you might as well get some capital for that. Number two, I don't know about you, 805, because I know you watch it, but I know from my eye, this is what I've seen. It don't look like he give a fuck like that no more. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not gonna say like, oh, he don't care about his teammates, man, like that. Not like that. It's more along the lines of saying, like, he's tired, bro. You're not paying me. We losing. You know, the blocks don't seem as crisp as they used to last year. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's quiet.
Extra.
Bro, he's quiet as fuck for 2.5 quarters. You know what I mean? I'm not seeing the wheel no more. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's what the uniform does to you. It's what the shield does, right? You get here and you get worn down. You lose so goddamn much, so much bullshit from the coaching staff, this and that. It's like, you know, I can't just play football. I can't just enjoy myself. But that's what it looked like with Jacoby right now. So I'd rather him go somewhere where he's appreciated, get him his money where he can be. And honestly, let's be honest with what we need. We need a number one receiver. As good as Brock Bowers is, I want a number one receiver. Jacoby is somebody you have when you have an established wide receiver and somebody that you need to compliment off of. But that's not what we have. So if I'm going to pay $23 million, I want that number one. So I'm not mad at it at all.
Yeah, 100%.
If you move on from Jacoby at this point, like I said before, we have 26 players that are on the last year of their contract or on a 1-year contract. if we continue to play like absolute shit, right? If there's nothing to hang your hat on 3 weeks from now, right? You go in the bye week, we lose 2 games, whatever, right? There's going to be half this team that's going to be playing for next season. There's going to be half this team that's going to start milking injuries because they're going to start playing for their next contract. You got half this team that's going to start making sure the individual ball is going to start to happen real quick.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
If you move on from Jacoby, which is a veteran in this league, which he's a leader in this locker room based on just his work ethic, the example that he puts out there, I wonder what type of ripple kind of goes through this locker room. If there's already reports that there's issues amongst players and coaches, if there's already reports that there's just some obviously with the Jermaine Pratt thing, there's something going on. We just don't know what the details are. My thing is, you get rid of Jacoby knowing that nobody has shown a viable replacement. It's not like you're getting rid of Jacoby because Jack Besh has 18 catches on the season and he's looking decent, right? You're getting rid of Jacoby with what are you doing? You're tanking. You're telling the locker room that we're tanking at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's nobody to replace him. There's nobody that's showing promise to replace that position. You're going to rely on somebody that has 2 catches on the season, 3 catches on the season with Jack Besh. So what type of ripple effect does that have through this locker room? And what does that say for any of these players that we want to bring back, like Landon Roberts, right? You could bring back Landon Roberts because he's looking like a really good downhill linebacker.
Yeah. I like him. I do like him.
He's on a 1-year contract. He might be like, screw this shit, I'm out. And we're hitting the reset button for sure next year because all these free agents are like, I'm good. I'm good. I mean, what happens if Eric Stokes comes back and he actually plays decent this year? Oh, he's going to go somewhere else.
He has been playing pretty decent.
He ain't going to come back to this mess.
No.
Like this is what I kind of fear because all of us Raider fans want us to thrive and do well. We want to be able to have good seasons and we want to continue to grow. Right. If you move on from Jacoby with no answer, a guy that has proven and shown that he just brings a good work ethic and he's going to be a good locker room guy and can produce on the field. Maybe not as the number 1, but can produce on the field.
Yeah.
Bro, the ripple effect I think is going to be nasty, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's a part of me is saying that it's time to rip the Band-Aid off, though, you know, because we've been I've said it for so long, bro. We're in the gray, man. We're in the gray, and that's the worst place to be as a football team. We don't know. We're not bad enough to get these top picks that we need, right? And we're not good enough to actually compete. So every year we just stuck in this little ass area and bubble. And that's why we continue to go after these Band-Aid ass quarterbacks because they give us that hope that maybe we can go to the other side. When realistically, we're closer to we need to rebuild side, right? And we have been for a while. We haven't accepted the fact that after we got rid of Derek, that's where we should have been anyway. Where we should have
done that this season, this offseason.
Right? And after we got rid of Derek, we should have been like, hey, rebuild, bro. Rebuild it all. Let's get some new team and new blood in here.
Yeah. I thought that's what we were going to do this offseason, and everything kind of was an indicative of that happening. But once they brought in Gino, it's like, all right, this is what we're going to go with. I'm like, all right, well, let's still draft a quarterback, you know, because Gino's only going to be here for X amount of time. He's not going to be here for a long time. We didn't do that, you know.
Maybe 2 more games.
Yeah, we're seeing all this come to fruition. We're seeing the byproduct of all these bad decisions or these indecisions. This is what we're getting. And it sucks. I'm going to go ahead and switch to this. I'm going to go ahead and switch to the other side of the football. And I'm going to ask this question. I think it's on everybody's mind right now. When do you pull Gino? When do you pull Gino? Do you pull him in the first quarter if he throws an interception? Do you pull him after 2 picks? Do you pull him if he's no picks, but we just can't get anything going offensively? I mean, what do you guys think? And if so, is it Kenny Pickett time? I'm sorry with you, 805. What do you think?
I think though, if Gino comes out and throws 2 interceptions in the first half, I think you you pull him.
Yep.
Without question. It's got to be what it looks like, right? You got to basically fill it out. For example, if it's late in the first half and we're actually up and the ball gets tipped up in the air like the one last week, and it's not solely on him. Then it's like whatever, like shit happens, right? But if he's getting baited, if they're jumping it, it happens early. Bro, you need to give us a chance. Like, you need to give this team a reason to continue to take the field.
Yep.
If Geno continues to if the interceptions are on him at horrible times, early in the game, what have you, you got to give the rest of this team a reason to step back on that football field. And so, that's my thing. It depends on just kind of how the interceptions come. It depends on just how it happens. But if it's early and they're jumping it and they're baiting his ass and it's all on him, bro, it might be that time. And that sucks. That sucks because
his career's over.
But as a fan base, we want to be able to trust the process at some point. That's what everybody preaches. That's what everybody talks about. Trust the process. And we've had no process to trust for so many goddamn years. And so if you bench Geno and you're going with Kenny Pickett, and Kenny Pickett don't work out, you just wasted a 3rd round and a 5th round. Yeah. That's what pisses me off, is you wasted draft capital that you could use to move around the draft, and it pisses me off. Like, so that's my thing. Again, I think it's situational. If Geno throws a pick, in the late in the 3rd quarter and it's picked up, like popped up in the air, but we're up. All right, just let him roll. Let him roll. That's bad luck. But bro, if he's getting baited and it's getting jumped and it's early, and say we're down by 3 or we're down by 6, yeah, you might need to make that switch.
Yeah, so. I'm with him. If first interception he throws in the double coverage, if he throws one, right, I'm taking him out. Like, dog, like you've been in the league for 12 years, you're 30-something, dog. Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? So it's time for him to go if he does that. And I've said it, a lot too. I think his career's a wrap. That's why they don't really want to bench him like that. If you do that, I mean, bro, you're in your 13th year and you're getting benched for fucking Kenny Pickett because you threw 10 interceptions. Yeah, like there's nowhere else to turn. Nobody else is going to give you a chance.
Not as a starting quarterback. Nope.
No.
Yeah, his backup career will restart again. Someone will pick him up as a backup. You know what I'm saying? 100%. Like that's about it. So
because they'll look at the Seahawk film and be like, "Oh, we'll get that Geno if he's a backup, not the Raiders Geno."
And if Kenny Pickett goes in and doesn't do well, he starts throwing some interceptions or can't move the ball, and here's the thing, and we hate doing it because it always happens in these moments, right? Let's say Geno throws 3 interceptions, we never bench him, but then they make the decision to basically bench Geno and go with Kenny Pickett. You're going to throw Kenny Pickett in against the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead. You're going to throw the kid in just a shit situation, and then what's that going to drum up? If Kenny Pickett don't do well, what's that going to drum up? Oh, Aiden O'Connell's coming off an injury. Yeah. And let's start all those talks again. Let's just start.
They already started. They already started. Yeah.
It's the most and I hate being negative. I hate it.
Oh, I forgot about AOC. Damn.
It's gonna happen.
They've already been starting. And
bro, like
so much shit out there that's like, when is he coming back? When is he coming back?
This is why yesterday in my live, one of the things I started out and I was like, man, is this the most dysfunctional we have ever been? Because imagine that. Imagine if we finally throw Kenny Pickett in and we throw him into KC, and he looks like shit. Now everybody's gonna get in argument mode because Aiden O'Connell comes off an injury and he's ready to rock.
Yeah, I forgot about that shit.
Bro, we are gonna be. It's gonna be a civil war again with Raider Nation. I do think we've all come together a little bit about this whole this shit ain't looking good. I think we've all kind of come together with that. Yeah. But bro, it's bad.
I really, you know what? I really don't want to I forgot about Aiden O'Connell too. And it's like, dog, we have to understand, right? Y'all, and this is where I'm gonna get pissed off at the people that do start clamoring for AOC. We mad at Gino for throwing picks. Why the fuck you think AOC was damn near for to get benched or traded in the offseason and the preseason? His ass was throwing picks. And you had people even looking at Cam Miller, being like, oh man, he don't look too bad, because AOC looks like garbage. So, like, that's how bad it's going, where we can just like throw that out of our minds and be like, yeah, he'll bounce back. It's AOC time again, and it's gonna happen. I already know the exact people who are going to start pushing it too. I already know what's up.
Ben started already. There was a tweet that Farrell put out. Shout out to our guy Farrell. And he's like, why are some people stuck on AOC? Man, that dude got lit up in the comments of that tweet.
I don't understand people's infatuation with that. I just don't. He's not the guy, ladies and gents. It's okay. It's okay to say that. We need to acquire one. All right. And that's fine to say. Look in the draft. Why don't y'all, the energy that y'all have with AOC, y'all should put that, if you're a content creator, put that shit towards looking at these 2026 quarterbacks, bro. Look at that. Put that energy over there, because that's exactly where we need to be.
Yeah, 100%.
Look, and I've been on record saying it. The hard part is, like, what the Raiders have done is the Raiders have put every damn player that we've had in shitty situations. Aiden O'Connell was put in shitty situations. Yeah. You look at a veteran quarterback, Geno Smith, coming here, and what do? Like, he looks like the worst quarterback in the National Football League. It's wild that we do that. You know what I'm saying? And so with Aiden O'Connell, we just put him in shit situations constantly. And that's just what we do. And so this is why whenever we move on from somebody, 80% of those players actually look pretty good wherever they go.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it, but people are saying Devon Diablo looks pretty good.
He does. I know, way better year than he did here.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like this is where, to me, I feel like, is it the player or is it the organization? And I hate saying it, but it's a pretty good argument. I mean, look at the amount of my parents and my extended family are all 49er fans, and the amount of players that they take from us and actually show promise over with the 49ers, I hear about it all the goddamn time.
And I don't know. It probably might be the organization, but then it's like, you got to think it's always these coaches that come in here, maybe change positions, maybe fuck around with what the players do, and try to tweak it to their vision, and it don't look the same. And then they go to organizations where the organization just says, we're going to let you be you. We're going to just grow and hone you as a player. And look what happens, right? I mean, you even go to the fact of, I'll give a shout out to Chris, man, because he continued to say this. And when he said it at first, everybody was like, what the fuck are you talking about? But now, here we are. Look at Arden Key. Look at fucking Arden Key. He can go to the Titans, bro, and he's even better than Tyree Wilson, right? He's even better than Tyree Wilson. So it's like, yeah, I do understand. It's from a standpoint of saying, like, we don't have no continuity, and I do get that. But then it's like, it's also the same thing with these coaches that do come in here that they don't know what the fuck they're doing most of the time. So it's like, we just have to make the right decision at the coaching hire, bro. And at this point, the same sentiment that everybody has when it's like, well, shit, it don't matter about these players. We keep, fuck these players. We'll get somebody else in here that can do what they do. That's how some people feel. You should feel like that with the coaches. Shit, bro, we done lost for 20 plus years. What's another losing season to you? Who cares? Bro, we done lost for 20 plus. Who gives a fuck if we lose another, man? It's about getting this shit right. So if we have to fire Pete Carroll to ultimately find a better coach, so be it. I can live through another losing season. I done been through that shit for more than half my life. We tough. It's all right. We'll be fine as long as we make the right shit.
Coaching matters.
Yep.
That's the biggest thing. Look at what the Eagles are going through right now.
Yep.
They lost their offensive coordinator. And this is what we see. You see coaches being able to kind of resurrect careers. You look at Kevin O'Connell over with Minnesota, being able to kind of resurrect Sam Darnold's career a little bit, right? Like, coaching matters. And that's the one thing I think a lot of people That's why I thought Chip Kelly coming over here, I thought that we had a chance to have at least a respectable offense.
100%.
Didn't think we were going to put up 40 points a game, but you're bringing Gino as a veteran. You're bringing an offensive coordinator that knows that or has shown he could do it in the NFL.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, maybe we can have complementary football, a decent defense, a decent offense. Let's put this thing together. But at the end of the day, man, it's like I think that's the one thing that is truly overlooked is that coaching matters 100%, and that is what helps a player elevate their game. And God, we need the right coaches.
That's just what it is, bro. We just need the right guys, not only to help us coach for the now, but to develop, right? To develop these players. And not only that, we need somebody that we trust because in the near future, we need somebody that's going to develop a quarterback. And that is even more intricate, right? Like, yeah, you can develop this, and that. But when it comes to quarterback development, oh, that's very, very fickle, right? Like you got to definitely have the right individual. Look at fucking the Vikings coach. Look at him. Like it don't matter. Whatever quarterback you throw at this man, they're gonna play adequate, right? Adequate enough. Yeah. Sean McVay, adequate enough. Green Bay coach. Look at Malik Willis and what he did. It's just enough, right? But we need that coach, bro, who is going to not only come in here and know how to develop from that standpoint, but know how to deal with a young quarterback. And that's kind of why, you know, I do want one of them coaches that are offensive coaches where if somebody leaves, it don't really make that much of a difference because it's like, all right, bro, like, you know, we tied to the hip. It is what it is. So that's kind of where I want to go with it. I'm kind of with you, Ja. I would like that because at least I know if he picks a quarterback, he's stuck with that mother. You know what I mean? Like, that's his guy. So at least I know what time it is.
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan. It's like, bro, like certain coaches, you know what I mean? Like, they'll know how to. Now, if you give those coaches a Josh Allen, certain one of these guys, you get an Andy Reid, a Mahomes, they do magic, right? Like, it's like, okay, now we doing something special. But I'm good enough as a coach to where, shit, if I have an Alex Smith, if I have, you know what I mean, maybe both of them coaches had Alex Smith. If I have one of those, then I can still make some shit shake. You know what I mean? So either way.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. 100%. Really quick, let's see here. Let's kind of dive into the keys to victory. Obviously, 805, you said we got to win. On paper, we got to win this, right? It looks like it's definitely
no excuses. No excuses.
Oh, excuse me. But what did they actually have to do to go ahead and get the dub tomorrow? And then what do you think is your score prediction for tomorrow's game if they were to go ahead and pull it off?
Score prediction if we pull it off, I'll give it like a 16-13 game. I think it's going to be kind of low scoring if we can pull this thing off. Like I said before, keys to victory, you have your typical, right? The general don't turn over the ball, cause turnovers, right? We obviously have to tackle well. I think the key is honestly expose their inefficiencies. The biggest thing is their receivers drop the ball a lot. There looks to be some confusion on that offense. And so play tight coverage, get in the face of the receivers. It's not like they got the best receivers in the world. They got Eilmanner over there. They got Lockett and Calvin Ridley. We should be able to kind of get in their face. We should be able to stick to their hip and force them to have contested catches all game long because they already have drop issues. And there's confusion, right? And I want to see us – we got to get to Cam Ward. We got to get them in second and 13, second and 16 type of situations, third and 12. Yeah. Keep them very one-dimensional. But I think that's the biggest thing is you got to get after the quarterback this game. Offensively, got to run the football, control the clock, and just play mistake-free football. I mean, our offense has been struggling. I just hope that if Chip Kelly dials up more wide-open receivers, Gino just sees them. Gino finds them, and we can move that ball downfield. The biggest thing is we got to win the field possession game. Mm-hmm. If we can force the Titans to have to go the length of the field the majority of the game, They've proven that they struggled to do that, so we'll give ourselves a good shot. So it's great that AJ Cole's back because we need to be able to play that field position game. So continuously pin them deep, give them the field to go, and give us short yardage, give us the short field, so we can at least get in the field goal range and just at a minimum getting those opportunities to get points on the board. We may obviously you want to finish in the red zone and get 6, but if we can just continuously kind of put points on the board and continue to put pressure on that Titans offense, I think we can give ourselves a chance. But I don't know, man. It's going to be, if Bo Hardigree puts up more points than Chip Kelly, that's going to be a tough day. So
yeah, facts. What about you, Ren? What do you think are the keys to victory for us to go ahead and get the dub tomorrow? And what would the score be if we're able to pull it off?
I'm with a lot of people, man. We got to run the ball tomorrow. I think we actually can run the ball tomorrow. Now, Jeffrey Simmons is an animal. He is an animal. But we're gonna have to throw some double teams that way. But even with him being so good, they still are not that good as a team against the run. They're still kind of bad against the run. I think they're giving up like 100 and what was it, like 100 and some yards per game right now on the ground or something.
And I think you can wear them down because there's been times where late in the games where they just let long runs just rip off. So I think you can wear them down if you just stay consistent and you stay just kind of honored to your strategy, your plan. You can run them down if the score's close.
Yep.
Then just stick to your strategy. Stick to what you came into that game to do, and you could potentially, I think, wear them down on defense with the run game because it looks like other teams have been able to do that. I think.
So exactly kind of what I thought. I had to make sure, but right now they are in rush defense. They're ranked 30th. They're giving up 146 yards on the ground. They've given up 10 rushing touchdowns on the season, bro. They are terrible against the run. They're terrible. So we have to take advantage of that in the red zone. Since everybody's been clamoring, I want Chip to run the ball, right? You want to know why? I really want Chip to just run, even in the red zone, run the ball. I want it to be shown whose fucking fault it is. I really do. I really do. Because if we're running the ball and it's close and it's all that, there's only one thing Gino needs to do. Don't turn that mug over. Don't turn it over. Exactly. That's it.
Don't turn it over.
As long as he doesn't turn the football over, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. Everything needs to stem from the run game, though, in the offense. Then we can hit the play action off of that. And then if we're starting to hit play action, we got him. So everything needs to stay. And like 805 says, stick with it, right? There's going to be some times we got to chop wood, bro. Meaning we only going to get 2 yards, 3 yards. But at the end of the day, when the fourth quarter come around, that's when I want the 10, the 15, the 20. Mm-hmm. So stick with that. On offense, bro. I mean, on defense, like, we got to get to this man. There's no ifs, ands, no excuses. He has to be on the ground, right? Because the way he starts to, he can make plays outside the pocket, dog. He really can. Now, the receivers aren't worth a damn, but Cam Ward is just going to try shit, bro. He just does. And against us, you know how that goes. When players get to trying shit, they end up completing it, or the shit ends up being good. So we got to get to him quickly.
Yeah. You know what's sad? Special teams, too. Get your shit together.
Oh, man. Man. Talk about that, bro.
I have it. It's just we got
a kick block. It's a wrap. If we get a kick blocked, it's a wrap. I can tell what time it is.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Punt return.
We're a mess. We're a mess. God damn it.
Fuck. I've never seen it this bad. And that's the frustrating part, I think, for Raider Nation is that we thought we were going to be better this year, at least in some type of degree, and it has not happened. We actually look fucking worse. My keys to victory, obviously, I think without being said, like I posted that banner just a bit ago, we need to go ahead and really commit to the run game, and I know this is the thing. That's why I put it up there, is because Chip has that tendency to go ahead and abandon the run game sometimes. And I think with this game, and Run just put out that stat, we need to go ahead and run the ball. Gino, I think without question, has to go ahead and play a mistake-free game. His zone should be literally 10 yards or less. I don't want to see really those deep shots because that's what they're doing. They're just baiting him. They're baiting him, and he's just staring down his guys. And we've seen it where safeties literally give up. They give up on the defender just to go ahead and attack and double team because they know where the ball is exactly going. But offensive line has to do the part, and keep up that pass pro up, and that run block has to be there and open up lanes for Genty for sure, 100%. And like you all said, defensively on the other side of the ball, we need to go ahead and get to Cam Ward quick and early. We need to be on his face from once they hit that field, they need to be in his face. I would love to go ahead and see Darian Porter start over Caillou Blue Kelly, and having Eric Stokes and those two guys out there, I think will really go ahead and help things out, especially the way that Darian Porter has been playing. And, the linebacker room, I mean, hopefully Landon Roberts and Delvin White can go ahead and kind of hold it down, but that's gonna be a struggle, and hopefully, it doesn't turn out too bad. But with this team, looking at all the injuries and everything, we should be able to go ahead and win this game. And I think really it lies with Geno Smith really playing mistake-free ball. If we can have that, I think we have a really good shot. But once we start seeing those mistakes, I think it's time to go ahead and make that hard decision and pull them out. But I want to ask you guys this question, though. If the Raiders lose versus the Titans, is the season officially over? And then will there be some heads that roll because of that? And should it be this man to be the first to go? I'm asking you guys both that question. What are your thoughts? If we lose that game,
if we lose the Titans, season's over. Season's over. I mean, you're 1-5. You're going to Arrowhead against Kansas City. Kansas City is going to be on fire because they just lost to the Jags, and Kansas City has Kansas City. They not just because it's a divisional game, but they get up for this game. Ever since that Christmas game, they're like, that shit ain't never happening again. And that core of that team is still together enough where there's enough of them that understand the effect on that Christmas game. And so they'll never let that happen again. So, and if we let anybody wake up, it's the Raiders. The Raiders will let any team wake up. It's like, I think DJ said that, Cam Ward's going to have his Ryan Fitzpatrick day. Yeah, probably. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we let players do. But if we lose the Titans, it's a wrap. It really is. There's nothing. If you look at the remainder of the schedule, in a match, I don't even want to put it out there, but just losing to the Titans is bad. But if we get our ass handed to the Titans, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? And so, but is the scapegoat Tom McMahon? Probably. Special teams been horrible. But the thing is what happens if we don't lose because of special teams? What happens if we don't lose because of special teams? What happens if special teams does perfectly fine and we lose 19 to 10 or something random, right? Then who can be the scapegoat? I don't even know at this point. You got the highest paid offensive coordinator and you can, let's say only put up 10 points. You have the highest paid offensive coordinator and you only put up 10 points with the veteran quarterback. You give up 19 points to a rookie quarterback that has not very many good weapons around him, and they should be 0-5, and you just gave them their first win. It's like, who do you really point the blame in this entire thing, except for Pete Carroll? Because you put this thing together, so I don't even know who to point the blame at. I do think that we got to see just kind of how this game plays out, and then we'll really see who to truly point the finger at. But man, we lose the Titans, it's a wrap.
It's over. It's done. Fire it all. Everybody should wake up the next morning, except maybe 2 people, and have some of these in their lockers. Pink slip. It's over. It's done, bro. Go ahead, pack your shit up, and get up out of here, man. Honestly, bro, and I hope we don't lose with special teams because I don't want us to. It's too easy. That's too easy to scapegoat the special teams coordinator and say, oh, man, we've been losing because of that. I can smell it now, right? Because that's just an excuse. Oh, we've been losing because special teams been asked. So, no, it's not. No, we're losing because you put all your eggs into the Geno basket, Pete, and also mismanaged a couple players as well. So it's like it's okay to admit that. This week is very crucial for this man's job, for Geno's job, for everybody's sanity, even, right? Like to even say, like, okay, all right, there's something to salvage. Because PG been here for a while. I mean, PG probably what, 40? Shit, this shit didn't age him by 20 years. He's 60 now in his Raider tenure.
He looks sometimes like, 60.
Damn. All the bullshit he done dealt with, right? Rob Leonard, he's taking a hit in his coaching career. He could be somewhere else coaching his ass off. But he over here, right, taking a hit because he want to stick with us. So everybody's sanity is going to take a hit if we don't win tomorrow. So do I have expectations for the team? No, I don't. I have zero expectations. I just want to see what we look like. And if we lose, hey, it makes it easy for me. Honestly, winning makes it harder for me because it's like now, oh shit, now there's hope, and we have all that. Well, we know good and damn well that in 2 weeks that hope going to be diminished quickly, right? Quickly is about to be diminished. But we'll have hope and all that, and we'll see how it goes. But if we lose, it's very easy to see where we go forward because the simple solution is blow the shit up. It's over. Blow it up. DJ, that's asking a lot, bro. That's asking a lot. That's too much. All right. When it comes to the Raiders, the simple things are never easy. All right, it's never easy.
I wish we did play the level of our competition at times. I wish we would have played the level of the Colts. And they just mop us up. I wish we would have played to the level of the Commanders, but they just mop us up. Like,
with the backup quarterback, man.
I hate it because Raider fans every week like, oh, this dude's out. This dude's out. Dog, we didn't play a top 5 quarterback and we still got our ass whooped. Like, it's not.
But I hate it though because when a backup comes in for their first game, they usually do well. There's more times where they do well than not, and they come back down to earth the very next game. Like, it's because you don't know what that offensive coordinator wants to do with that quarterback, so you don't have that game film. That was the one thing that I was telling people in my live was, like, when you're a defensive coordinator and you don't know who you're going to face that upcoming week and you don't know till Friday, it screws up your game plan. They were prepping for Jaden Daniels and they were prepping for Marcus Mariota because they didn't know if Jaden Daniels was going to play. So when you spend the entire week building up your game plan around 2 quarterbacks and then on Friday, you finally get the news who you're going to play, but that puts you at a massive disadvantage. So I knew it was going to be a tough game. But here's my thing. At the end of the day is I think you have to blow it up if we lose against the Titans because there's no way in hell we can waste Brock Bowers' career with the Raiders, Gentry's career with the Raiders, JPJ and the promise that he has shown so far with the Raiders. Colton Miller, we signed to an extension. We finally have a left tackle. Hopefully he can get healthy. Like, even if we decide to keep Max Crosby, like, we're just going to waste some of the young guys' careers being a Raider, the times that we have them, if we just don't make a move.
Yeah.
Because if we try to hang on and do the dumb shit of squeaking out like 3-4 wins and now we're picking number 9 and we just don't have a shot at going to get, our quarterback or what have you, it's like.
Now we got to spend 2 first-round fucking picks to try to do it. It's like when you could have just been there.
Yeah, could have done from the get-go.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't want to waste these young guys' careers that we have now. Because if we continue to Raider this thing up like we've had for so long, Genty ain't going to be back. Brock Bowers ain't going to be back. If JPJ pans out to be a good interior offensive lineman, he ain't going to be back. Like, it's just, yeah. And then it's more wasted first round draft picks.
Yep, it's a core. Yeah. It's a core here that can be worked with, but they got to be worked with the right people, man. And right now, I mean, plain and simple, we just ended off, bro. Like, it don't look like it's the right people to work with this core.
Yeah. We're still having a lot of miscommunication and a lot of the same problems as last year with almost an entirely new staff, which is crazy.
And we have a 74-year-old head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, like you're not working. Like he's not going to be here. He's not going to be around. We draft a quarterback next year.
2.0.
Like we are. Well, it's so hard to understand what the right pathway is because if we suck and all this drama continues, I'm not putting a numbered 1, number 2 overall pick with a quarterback in the hands of a guy that's not going to even be here.
Exactly. I'm not doing that. No, he's got
that's the part that we're in such a unique situation, but the unique situation is pointing in the direction of just dysfunction. And I don't want to trade Max and all of a sudden you give Pete Carroll 2 first-round draft picks. Like I don't
want him to have that at all. He don't need that ammo. John, you had me on your vision until you said something about Cade Klubnik, and then you lost me. And then my vision got blurry after that. I don't know what you're talking about. So for me, bro, I'm with you everything else though. I think Sellers probably go back to school too. He probably got to go back to school.
He might.
I know is we got to get ready in 30 minutes. All of us should be watching Oregon versus Indiana. That I'll tell y'all, right now, you got to watch that game. You should have been watching this Alabama game if you could have, because this motherfucker from Alabama is another one. But there's at least a couple right in this draft right now that I could say, like, quarterback wise, there's some talent up in here. There's a couple.
Yeah, there is. And Mr. Akon said this unique situation been going on for 23 years, man. At least in the past, like with Gruden, right? You may have liked Gruden, you may have not liked Gruden, whatever. It's like, at least you got to coach that if he works out, he could be with us for the next 15 years, right? So at least there's like a path to it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We have a 74-year-old head coach.
There's no
like, there is no path with him, but maybe 2 more years. Like it's just, and if the person that's in this building is not the next man up, if Chip Kelly doesn't work out and we get a quarterback, what happens if this next regime just doesn't want the quarterback that we picked?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, like it's just this whole winning culture thing that we wanted to bring Pete Carroll in where he can change the culture and he can move us in the right direction. Well, that only continues to move in the right direction if the guy that's next up is in this building, because then that guy can continue the culture that Pete Carroll started. If we completely blow this thing up, it was all for nothing. And it's just like
100%. 100%. And that's exactly, bro. I'm with you. You know, we just got to do it. Hey, this Alabama quarterback got throws to him, bro. He got an arm to him. This motherfucker got some shit. He just threw a pass right now. That's crazy. But either way, you know, like I'm just with y'all, bro. It's just time to get somebody that has direction, because it didn't look like nobody. First of all, it don't look like the coaching staff on any type of terms right now, on type of synergy. So it don't look like there is no successor, right? And then we're going from that. So just get somebody in here that has a full vision. Let Brady and Spy pick the next coach, right? Pick the next coach.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Now that they got a year under their belt, they know what they want to do. Let it happen. And then go from there, right? Shit, even if they would have hired their buddy, right? Which was, I just came from the Bucks and let's hire Liam Cohen. Who knows how that would have went? But then again, why would Liam Cohen want to come here if he ain't got no goddamn quarterback? That's the next thing.
Exactly.
That's the only way to attract these That's the only way to attract these coaches, bro. You got to have a top something pick to get the quarterback.
Yeah. He had T-Law. That's why you're seeing success out in Jacksonville. That's it. And they just added a few pieces to that. That's why now they're 4-1 right now.
Yeah,
you could do it, but you didn't have the infrastructure in place to do that. You need to have those pieces, and we don't have the main piece, which is a quarterback. Until we do, it's a hard sell. I don't give a damn if Tom Brady's on the phone and he's begging for the next guy to come in. They're going to be reluctant because the infrastructure is not properly set. So now this guy is going to have to go ahead and do all that work.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
that man, I know we getting ready for the last segment, man. Let
We
them
get
know.
it for that last segment. Yes, sir. So let's go ahead and move into the last segment of the show. This is the spotlight. This is the time where we go ahead and meet our guests. We didn't do this last time, 805, but we're gonna do it this time, man. This is the time where we go ahead and take time to meet you and get to know you. Obviously, this week's guest is none other than 805. But let me start off with this. Let me ask you, who is on your Raiders Mount Rushmore? It could be players or coaches, combination of both.
I don't think I've ever been asked this question.
Okay. There you go. See.
Okay, you gotta go. You gotta go Woodson. Charles Woodson's on there without question. Tim Brown's on there.
Okay.
I so badly want to put Max on there.
Okay.
Because it's Mount Rushmore, so it's 4, right?
Right.
Woodson, Tim Brown. I'm gonna put Max on there.
Okay.
I'm gonna ride out with Max, man. He's done everything he can for us, and we ain't paying him back. So I'm gonna put Max on there. And then I'm probably gonna end it with give me Marcus Allen.
I love it. Great list.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Give me Marcus Allen.
Great
I think that would be my list. I hate not putting like a guy like Howie Long on there. I love the guys that just kind of build up in the trenches. But I think that's my list. So Charles Woodson, Tim Brown, Bo Jackson, or Marcus Allen, and Max. I think that's my Mount Rushmore.
Okay, there you go. That's really solid. Love it. Let's go ahead and move on to the main questions here.
Yep.
In our segment. Let's start from the beginning, man. Let me ask you, how long have you been a Raider fan for? And then what was that moment that really kind of made you fall in love with the silver and black?
So I became a Raider fan when I was 9 years old. I'm 42 years old, so when I was 9. And what did it was basically, my entire family, extended my parents, everybody else, they're all they're diehard 49er fans.
Okay.
And my dad's the one that introduced me to the Raiders because I saw the fan base, and it was a 49er versus Raider game preseason. And I kept seeing the Raider fans. And I asked my dad, I was like, hey, can we go sit with those guys? From that moment forward, he ripped me from that spot, and he's like, we're out of here. You will never root for the Raider fans. And my best friend was a Raider fan, and he lived a few blocks down the street. Okay. So my dad said, hey, we are never showing the Raiders in this house. We watch 49ers. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, but I kind of want to watch the Raiders, So I actually had to go down to my buddy's house to go watch the Raiders. And from that point, he was a big Raider fan. We played football together. We were both running backs. So as a youth kid, we were both running backs and we were both linebackers. And so it just stuck. And from that point forward, basically we became a Raider fan. And so basically from 9 years old till on, I've been fighting to be a Raider fan because my parents and my entire extended family have threatened to disown me plenty of times.
About going up against the odds, man. That's
and my dad played college baseball. He was a 3-sport athlete, football and basketball in high school. He played football and basketball and football and baseball in junior college. Like, he's an athlete. And so he takes sports very seriously. And for him to see me go to the dark side, for him to see me, because they were born and raised in the Bay Area up north. And so we go up north. And for him to bring his son around family, and I'm rocking my Raiders, it's a slap in the face. It's disrespectful. And so I had to fight. I had to fight a little bit. So
hey, but that's why it's gonna feel good when we finally get good again. All the turmoil we done had to go through, dog. The amount of shit we'll talk to people is gonna be nasty work. Very nasty work.
Very nasty.
But I always ask this question, what's certain things as far as your content journey up to this point that you feel, that you've really enjoyed up to this point? And what certain things you feel like maybe just in the content space you'd like to see get better for yourself, or maybe just the content space in general?
Yeah.
So two things. One thing I've enjoyed without question is the community that I've been able to be invited in. Being able to come on here with you guys, with Severe and Chris and everybody else, Jeff and Christopher Raiders and all those guys. Being able to kind of be a part of this community, I think, is the best thing. I mean, and with Leo and all them, like Jay, anytime you guys come into town, I'm like, hey, let's link up, because I'm all about just being able to create this community, and be able to kind of meet people through the chat and stuff like that. Like, I stopped coaching, and this has allowed me to kind of get that itch out. It's allowed me to kind of replace the coaching with this space, and to be able to link up with you guys, meet you guys, and all that. I that's been my favorite part of doing all this, and just being able to talk Raider football. What I think I'd love to see changed is it's not about just Raider content and stuff. I wish you couldn't. I wish that YouTube wouldn't push clickbait.
Yeah,
like that's it. Like it feels like the only way to truly kind of get your content out there is based off the algorithm of YouTube, and it's they push the clickbait stuff. And outside of that, if you don't have that clickbait type of thumbnail, or if you're not teetering that line, and you know what I'm saying, like, then look, you might get 100 views.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's not, to me, it's not all about the views, because I just want to be here for the community. But at the same time, I also don't want to be talking to one person. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like, it'd be good to have a community. It'd be good to really grow it to the point where you feel comfortable with just the space that you're in. But to me, I feel like the only way for it to blow up is if you teeter that line. You know what I'm saying? And so I just wish that would change, because I think there are plenty of guys out here like you guys. You got Severe, even Nate. You guys rock out with Nate, and he's trying to grow. And there's people on here that have good takes. You know what I'm saying? Like that can provide some good content for people. But man, if you just don't teeter that line, or if you don't cross that line, you ain't going to grow, unfortunately. And it's sad. Yeah. So I do think that's one thing that I would hope would change with this YouTube thing. And also the trolls. The trolls, I have fun with them, but at the same time, they're out there. So
all the time. Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, for sure. Let me go ahead and kind of cap it off with this. Let them know what you have going on, any collabs in the works, anything that they everybody should be looking out for, and then obviously where they can go ahead and find you as well.
So all my social is either 805 Raider or _805 Raider. I think it's _805 Raider on Instagram. I apologize if you guys send me messages and I don't respond, because I'm new to the social media stuff. But prior to this, because I started my channel in week 3 of the 2023 season, prior to this, I was on Facebook. That was it. And that was from just keeping in touch with old friends and old family. Like that was really it. I was not on Instagram. I wasn't on Twitter, nothing like that. And bro, when I started an Instagram, and I didn't even look at that, I didn't even know you could message through Instagram. I went back and I had like a list of messages that I never knew there was a section of Instagram, the app, that you can go into. So if you guys send me a message and I don't see it, I apologize. But and Edgar, yeah, I did go to Moore Park. And so Moore Park College. And so here's the thing is, for me, I started this thing. I just started doing my own videos, and I jumped on with Chris and Severe, a couple guys. I think I was on with you guys real early when I started doing the lives, and I enjoyed it and I loved it. And I'm gonna keep rocking. I got the War Room on Wednesdays. We break down game film, and we do our lives after every game, typically Sundays, because obviously the game's on Sundays. And we'll do that, and then I just do my own individual videos. And I try to pop on as much as I can with other guys in this space, just to kind of chop it up. Because again, look, I know I have my knowledge of the game, but I know there's plenty of people in this space that have a lot of knowledge as well, especially people that are in our chat. As much as I like to share my knowledge, I like to learn from you guys. I like to learn from the chat as well, and definitely have fun with it. So I try to do lives when I can. I've been doing them a little more often, but with the wife and kids, man, my schedule's all over the place. So, but that's kind of what you can get from me, and I enjoy it. There ain't no stopping. I could care less if we lose every single game. Ain't no stopping, because the platform this has allowed me to kind of be involved in a community like you guys, and at the same time, be able to talk football. That's kind of the space I live in, and so my wife doesn't have to hear about me talking football. So she thanks you guys as well. So.
Right, like, you take his time away from me. There you go. Not that football talk.
Hey, but it's always love for 805, man. I know you probably are. You guys going live today on War, or that's tomorrow?
No, that's gonna be tomorrow. But I will be live tomorrow morning. I'm gonna go over to that. I'm gonna go over to the bar again. It's the Raider, the Tailgater Tavern. It's a few blocks away from J Lot to the west. I'm gonna go over there probably around 8:45. I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna grab a picture, chill out. I'm gonna go live for about an hour. Definitely try to break down this Titans game. And then I'm going to walk over to J-Lot, link up with Leo. And if you guys ever go to J-Lot, in that front row, the main row, there's a guy right smack dab in the middle that has a full bar. Go check out my guy. All he asks is for just a couple donations if you can throw something. But, bro, he throws out a full bar, has fun.
Bro,
I always hit him up.
Last time, like when I was there for the home opener, I'm like, oh, everybody's like giving like cash. And I'm like, oh, man, I had to do a barter. I'll trade you a sticker for a shot. And then, like, next thing you know, like, I see, like, further down his bar, he had the Venmo. I'm like, damn, I could have Venmoed that dude. I felt bad. I didn't want to take no free drinks, bro. And that's all. But shout out to that dude. That dude has a fire setup at J-Lot. So
I throw him a couple 20s. I grab a couple beers. And I'm like, hey, bro, like, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? So, if anybody goes to the games, go get a drink from him. And instead of paying $24 in the stadium for a beer, give the guy a $10 bill. You know what I'm saying? And show him some love for his effort.
Show some love for sure.
That's fire, bro. That's fire. So gonna be tough, man. Love it. I hope you have fun tomorrow. Hopefully the Raiders win. So everybody has
hopefully, man. That'll be dope. But again, we always appreciate you pulling up and tapping in with us. But hey, really quick though, I do have to go ahead and kind of put this out there. Unfortunately, this will be the last show for me and Rundown. Rundown's going to go ahead and kind of shift gears, put some time with the fam.
Got some.
He got some education.
School things I got to do, bro.
Yes, sir.
Much respect,
I'm trying to go for my master's. You feel what I'm saying? So, I got to have some time to really agree. Anyway, shit. I mean, the Raiders ain't winning anyway, so fuck it. Might as well get my education. Might as well get my education right while I can, man. I'm trying to do some things with this and some other things. So, I got to have a little time to focus. But y'all still gonna see, some rundown content, but on the weekends, I got to dedicate some time to fam if I'm going to be doing school and all that. So.
Yeah, for sure, man. And we still going to do our thing from time to time.
Oh, of course. Sure. Don't nothing change.
Yeah, nothing change, man. But, but moving forward, it's going to be me back on the solo tip. Y'all already know what time it is. I mean, hey, this is how we started. So we just going back to the solo tip. But we're still going to go. I'm still going to be rocking it every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Pacific. So make sure you guys go ahead and pull up for that one. I got Joe Morley on, the great and powerful Joe Morley.
There you go.
He's going to be on with me next week. Me and him, we're going to go ahead and chop it up. Shout out to Joe Morley. And then I got my guy, Raider Primos, who was in here earlier. He's going to be on at the end of the month. And we're going to be doing that damn thing. I had him on that Monday show, Fire Monday show.
I'm still gonna be tapping in every Saturday though.
We get you on whenever you got a Saturday. No dog, you got an hour free.
Of course,
come through real quick. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do the damn thing. But again, appreciate you guys. We're gonna go ahead and just let y'all know it's gonna be me on the solo tip, moving forward. But other than that, man, appreciate you guys as always. Salute to everybody who pulled up and rocked with us on this Saturday morning. Hopefully we get the dub tomorrow. There you go. Shout out to the guy Space Beast with the $2 family strong. Yes, never can be mad at holding it down and putting priorities first. which is always a fan.
Never.
Always going out and better yourself and getting that bread, man. Never could be mad at that. So, much love to my guy Rundown, as always.
Hey, love to you for bringing me on to the show, man. Dope.
Yeah,
and of
man,
course,
we
we're going to
rocked
continue.
it.
Once that thing is, once I got some time, we're going to continue this thing again, man. Pick it back up.
Yeah, man. It's always an honor for me to go ahead and share the screen with you, brother. As always, man. We
Always,
try.
man.
I try to bring my best A game always, bro. And so my guy 805. Hey, love chopping up with my guys, man. These are the guys. This is fam right here. You know what I mean? So
always.
Yes, sir. But other than that is our time for today. Again, make sure you guys go ahead and pull up next Saturday for another Good Morning Raiders. I'm going to have my guy, Joe Morley, on. We're going to go ahead and talk about this game and what the future looks like for the rest of this season. So salute. And then again, really, man, on the way out, shout out to my guy, G-Fam, gifting 5 JRB memberships to the masses. 5 shout out to the 5 new members, part of the family here at Just Raiders. Appreciate you, my guy. I'm going to those 5 memberships. But again, appreciate you guys. Love as always. We'll see y'all next time. And go Raiders. Peace.
Love. 805, I'm going to hit you up on Instagram.
Let's do it.
There you go. There you go. All right, y'all. All right.
What?
Peace. Love. 1.